Hey TPT sellers, someone asked me how to restore a TPT blog backup. They made a mistake. For whatever reason, they want to go back to a previous version. I'm going to show you how we do that on SEOT Hosting. Here's an example of a site that I have. It's on WordPress. If I go to the back end here, just so you can see that there's going to be a difference here, I'm just going to add a new post. I'm going to call this post, "This is a mistake." Oops. I'm going to save the draft. I don't want this on my live site, obviously. And now if I go into the WordPress dashboard, I can see under all posts, there's this post called "This is a mistake." So this is just so you can see when I restore the old version, you can see that there'll be a difference. Okay, how do I restore my TPT blog? I just go into SEOT Hosting. Up here, there's a link called the Hub. That'll take me to the backend where I can manage my WordPress installation. Now, I have a few different installations here. Reading comprehension strategies on the tall plan, so I'm going to click on this. On the left-hand side, I have a bunch of options. One of them says backups, so I'm just going to go to backups, and I'm going to click on the dashboard. Now, if you're on the tall plan, you get daily backups once a day, but you can't manually create a backup, so that will be locked out for you. But that's okay. We can restore any backup on the tall plan. So I'm going to back up the version I had on December 5th, 11 hours ago. I just click on these three dots and I can click on restore. But you can't restore it by accident. It has to be intentional because you have to type this word restore and you hit confirm and restore. And so what it's doing is it is loading up the old version and just replacing your website with the old backup that you have. Now, while that's thinking, I'm just going to let you know that if you have a WordPress installation with multiple sites, so for example, if I go into SEOTpreneur Pro, so this is a multi-site WordPress installation. I have many sites on this SEOTpreneur Pro WordPress installed. If I restore a backup from 2 days ago, it'll restore the backup for all the sites on that WordPress install. So it'll back up SEOTpreneur Pro. It'll go back to that version. But for all these other sites on this network, it'll also revert back to that version. If you have multiple websites on your WordPress installation, just be aware of that. It says the site is restoring, and I can see here in the hub, it says the backup restore was done. It's completed. And so now if I go back into my new website here, if I go back into WordPress, I've logged out because it's restored a backup. So let me just log in again. So I've just logged in again and I'm going to refresh the page and it's going back to the version 11 hours ago, which didn't have the mistake that I made. So that's how you restore a backup on SEOT Hosting. One more thing, there's a difference between the different plans on SEOT Hosting, and on the tall plan, you only get some hub features. On the grande and higher plans, you get all of the hub features. Here's an example of a difference. This is showing you the backup page for readingcomprehensionstrategies.org, which is on the tall plan. And you can see that I can't create a backup. It's locked out. If I go to the hub and if I go to my EduCircles example, which is on a bronze plan, I can see on the left-hand side where it says backups, I can see dashboard. And this time I have this button that says create backup and it'll let me take a note. So I can make a backup before I start tinkering around on my website. So before I install these plugins or change these settings or whatever it is, it'll make this backup. And then it'll leave this little note here. And if I make a mistake or in a day or two, if I decide, you know what, I really messed up, I can go back to this backup and I can recover and undo this mistake. It's like an undo feature for your TPT blog. So it's just making a backup right now. And there we go. So I can see here's my backup. It says a minute ago. And then here's my note before I install a plugin. And I can change this note later on. There we go. And then later on, if I discover that actually I want to go back and undo all the things I did before I install that plugin, I just click on restore here. I can't restore it by accident. I have to type the word restore. If you have any questions about your TPT blog on WordPress, leave a comment. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.